Welcome to TNT, Signs of Times Reports by Toby Lee Milwee. It's May 25th, 23, Thursday. Yep, I'm always thinking it's 26th today. Let's go ahead and check this out. We typed in F16 fighter jet upgrades, okay? And this is what I got. It's we're going to talk about F-16s. We're going to do a lot of research, and we're going to see this plane in service, okay? Because everybody wants to sit and point at their computer, okay? So the United States Air Force to upgrade 608 F-16 fighter jets to V variant and Viper fleet, largest modification work in history. Now, I never heard of this. In one of the largest modernization efforts in the United States Air Force history, the F-16s, 608 of them, comprised of blocks 40 to 50 will undergo up to 22 modifications designed to ensure the fourth generation fighter remains effective in meeting current and future threats. The variant, okay? According to Alert 5, 10 years after Lockheed Martin announced the F-16V variant at the Singapore Air Show, the U.S. Air Force has decided to modify 608 Block 40 and 50 jets to that standard. Now, which jets did Zelensky get? Now, they've changed all the controls in the aircraft from cables to electronics, okay? And I think that's avionics or logistics. I may have to look up some of these words, you know what I mean? Because if I'm wrong in any way, I'm going to have 20,000 fucking people pointing at me, okay? So it says here, in one of the largest modernization efforts in the history of the United States Air Force, 608 F-16 compromised blocks 40 and 50 will undergo 22 modifications to improve the lethality and secure the fourth generation fighter jet remains effective. And meeting current and future threats, Brian Backens, Air Force Life Cycle Management Center Public Affairs, explains in the article, F-16 fleet undergoing largest modification work in history. We're just going to go ahead and click on that, guys. This has already repeated itself a lot. Okay, and this is Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, okay? F-16 fleet undergoing largest modification work in the history. Now, Hill Air Force Base does a lot of mechanics and repairs, but I'm going to stick with the fact that that's what it is. And I think this modification stuff was probably not there. But they train pilots there, okay? We're talking about flying F-16s in Ukraine to go after that badass bear, okay? Because he's Hitler and all this stuff. So this is published February 28th, 2022. Air Force Life Cycle Management Center Public Affairs. Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, Ohio. In one of the largest modernization efforts in U.S. Air Force history, 608 F-16s compromised blocks 40 and 50 will undergo 22 modifications. Okay, here we go. The Air Force Life Cycle Management Center's Fighters and Advanced Aircraft Directorate is leading the complex project known as Postblock Instagram Team. Integration Team, excuse me. There we go, I can see now. Or ProPit, and develop the plan to organize and install the modifications on the aircraft. This is a pretty massive effort. A collision of mods, as we call it, said Orion O.J. Joseph, program manager with the F-16 program office. We had to quickly look at all the mods that are going on the aircraft, and not only understand the timing when the mods are going to deliver, but also when the aircraft will be available from the units. There are a lot of variables, a give and take tug of war that will deal with every day on bringing down aircraft for modifications at the right time, okay? Because you have to defend the country. And it was a great aircraft. You know what I'm saying? But it's awfully old. Okay. And when this technology came in, I mean, they moved the seat in the thing. They switched over all the controls where there's no center stick. It's on the side. And it's electronics. Uh, there's been quite a bit. They actually made it into where it can carry a small nuke too. Now it was tested, I believe, in late 2016, Area 51. I'm not sure about that. Updates to the aircraft, including installing active electronically scanned array radar and Link 16, a battlefield communication system, modernizing the cockpit, which leaned the seat back. See, they leaned the seat back from 17 degrees to 30 or something like that for the G-forces. Okay, modernizing the cockpit and main mission computer and converting the fleet to a high-speed data network. In addition, the fighter will receive next-generation electronic warfare capability, as well as a communications suite upgrade, a center display unit, a programmable data generator, and several other key hardware components to modernize the aircraft. We're talking about GPS of that. A number of the modifications have already started and will continue over several years. Overall, ProBit involves 6 major commands, more than 18 bases, multiple companies, and contracts totaling approximately $6.3 billion. My stepdad was part of that because he built the hydraulics for the B-2 Spirit bomber. And he was from Ensenada, Mexico. Okay, this effort is a big fat deal for the Air Force, said Joseph. In order for us to keep the F-16 in flight, performing all its different roles for our combatant commanders with all these wars and shit. Okay, they didn't do this any good. They had to do it, bro. Okay, and they put a ton of money in the F-16. Okay? And we're thankful for that today. We really are. And I didn't know we had 600 of them till now. Okay, we must significantly modernize the fleet. Making sure we have the right modifications at the right time is critical to the warfighter, added First Lieutenant Andrew Elledge, Program Manager, F-16 Program Office. It requires effort and a daily coordination to ensure there is progress and communication with all programs related to this effort across all bases involved. Okay, it's united. Okay, with this effort, and it is a challenge being able to keep the F-16 in flight with the latest and greatest technology is the driving factor. I'm thankful I am thankful to have such experienced teammates to help me tackle this complex daily task. It really takes all of us to keep this moving in the right direction. Okay, now we're going to back out of here, okay? We're just going to go back and we'll try something else here. There's a lot more stuff that's a little bit more complex than that when it comes to the upgraded one. Okay, here's what is the upgrade. This is April 9th, 23. Okay, here's a different one. So people want to sit around and talk about F-16s, okay? And I'm telling you, it's time to subscribe, okay? We're doing real research here. We're just not up there judging and trying to grasp at straws in the dark, okay? Upgraded F-16s rejoins 8th Fighter Wing. Published April 9, 23, okay? After receiving the first phase of one of the largest modernization efforts in U.S. Air Force 16 program history, an upgraded F-16 Fighting Falcon rejoined the 8th Fighter Wing April 4th. Wolfpack tail number 021 reported to the 8th Fighter Wing operations after about 7 weeks away for maintenance, where the Air Force Life Cycle Management Center's post-block integration team, I didn't say Instagram this time, project provided the aircraft with the first wave of 22 modifications designed to improve the F-16's lethality. Okay, we already heard about that. Piloting WP-021, okay, for its first operational flight back with the Wolfpack. U.S. Air Force Colonel John D. Cadwell, 8th Fighter Wing Vice Commander, experienced firsthand what the update systems brought to the platform. Now, this is something you need to pay attention to because right now we're training F-16 pilots. And it woke me up when we're trying to get back up to Idaho. I said, you know what? That Air Force Base had a lot of activity. And I know they train there. And I'm not saying they're training Ukrainians there, but they're training NATO there. They're training somebody there. And it was busy in January. The upgrade equipment I flew with today greatly improved my situational awareness, allowing me to receive and process information at a much faster rate than other F-16s in the past. Now, you think you'd hop into a new one and not even know how bad the old one was. You know what I'm saying? I get it. The information was quick, reliable, and present on new displays in a way that reduced my workload and improved effectiveness for all aspects of the flight. The main feature of the POBIT upgrades is the installation of the APG-83 scalable agile beam radar with active electronically scanned array and the center display unit technology that ultimately gives the F-16 and its pilot a clear vision of the threat picture to increase both the survivability and accuracy of the weapon system. The F-16 is planned to continue service into the 2040s. So this upgrade is critical to making sure we are keeping pace with the evolving threat environment, Cadwell said. Okay, it's both critical pieces that work together to bring the F-16 closer to 5th generation capabilities, which will keep the F-16 relevant to the flight. Other notable upgrades to the platform's avionics from this round of POBIT upgrades included programmable data generator, new generation electronic warfare capability, communication site, Okay, here's the avionics. The avionics upgrades allow the pilots to take off full advantage of the jet's advanced weapons and sensors. It is capable of providing high-speed data and or high-resolution video and ultimately aids the pilot in tactical decision-making. And the U.S. Air Force Captain Michael C. Durham, 8th Operations Support Squadron Weapons Tactic Officer. Okay. The upgrade radar specifically allows us to track a greater number of targets at longer ranges in both cooperative and non-permissive environments, while also improving the F-16's all-weather capabilities by adding synthetic aperture radar mapping for target nomination and engagement. Okay, this isn't heat-sinking shit no more. Okay, it's called GPS. Okay, satellites. Okay, and Elon Musk's trying to take the credit for this shit. Okay, Durham, who took the lead on testing the jet systems upgrades upon its return to the Wolfpack fleet, said the upgrades will expand the F-16's participation in future operations. That's all the same shit again. The aircraft was the first 7th Air Force F-16 to return to flight operations with upgrades, and the rest of the fleet allows suit. The modernization effort will improve the United States Air Force's ability to safeguard a free and open Indo-Pacific region and the stability of the Korean Peninsula. Okay, and you can see what's up. Okay, and this shit's fucking pretty current. Okay, and there's a lot of witchcraft involved. Okay, and Putin said it, and I know it. Okay, with regards to the Wolfpack's Take the Flight North mission, these upgrades primarily allow us to keep pace with near-peer threats, but also have a large hand in the deterrence mission, Cadwell said. It will definitely be a part of the decision calculus for the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, because the more lethal and survivable we can make our forces here in the peninsula, the more likely we are to deter aggression. The goal is to present a force so capable that the DPRK decides instead of pulling the trigger. Now, see, We had a lot of money put into this, okay? And all of a sudden, it just all fucking goes off the end of the walking plank, guys. You know that? We get up to this point, okay? And we know we're screwed. Everybody knows that. I'm not even going to talk about the F-35. Not even going to go there, okay? I'm not going to do that because I feel like it's important where we're talking about one thing here, okay? Why can't, okay, let's see, F-16s for Ukraine. Okay, let's just see which ones they got. F-16s for Ukraine. Why Kiev would still face big hurdles in using the U.S.-made fighter jets? Well, because the Su-57, which there's only like 10 of them, I did a report about those too, okay? That we don't know how many they have. And really, the F-22, the F-18, and the F-35 are a lot more. They were already built up, stepped up. You know what I'm saying? But the F-16 was a good aircraft, and they put a lot of work and money into it from our money, man. You know, I'm thankful for that. I mean, a lot. Okay. Ukraine's quest for U.S.-made F-16 fighter jets received a big boost over the weekend when President U.S. Joe fucking blah, 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 Biden summit G7. Okay, F-16s upgrade largely. The F-16s would be an upgrade to the largely Soviet-era aircraft currently in Ukraine fleet. Yeah, I bet. That's why nobody knows how to fly the motherfucker, see? In fact, you have to that's CNN and all this shit. Come on. Here's what we need to know about the F-16. Okay, well, the F-16 Fighting Falcon fighter aircraft has its landing gear extended to land at the U.S. military airfield. Okay. Germany. So we know they're there in Germany. Okay. The F-16 are a single-engine, multi-role jet aircraft, meaning that they can be used in air-to-air ground attack missions. Okay, I want to talk about the 70s. According to Flight Global's World Air Force Directory, almost 2,200 F-16s are active worldwide this year. Okay, and when is this from? This is from the 22nd of May. Okay, so which ones do they get? Okay, it's getting bigger, ain't it? That's a lot of money, okay? The more capable aircraft are probably ones that you commonly hear about. The U.S. made F-35S, which China made it, and the F-A-18. Okay, I just said it, man. Or the French stuff, okay? There's different types of stuff people put their money in as this stuff went with technology. You know what I mean? The best aircraft technology would arguably be the Swedish Gripen because of its combat capabilities, ability to operate from. See, they don't want nobody to win. You know what I mean? Latin gives Netherlands a prime example of how the F-16 might be the easiest answer for Ukraine. The Dutch have about 40 F-16s on hand. These Dutch aircraft have been progressively upgraded. Okay, there we go. And they don't say shit about Ukraine. And maybe I've asked it. You know what I'm saying? They have established logistics trial and a good number of spare parts available. I bet. There are also a note for a modern fighter jet like the F-16 training maintenance personnel. See, that's going to be what we're seeing right here. Okay, training personnel. Okay. Training pilots, okay? Right there, training pilots. That's what they do at Hill Air Force Base. We're stoked, man. But training maintenance personnel can take months of years, depending on the desired level of proficiency, according to a March report of the possible F-16 transfer from the Congressional Research Services. Even after undergoing up to 133 days of schooling, a U.S. Air Force maintainer gains a year of on-the-job experience to become fully qualified. Okay, so I don't know why teaching them how to fly isn't shit. Okay, it's the technology and upgrading and stuff. Okay, then they're gonna get shot down. Okay, and the report notes that can be numerous problems. Okay, number problems. The F-16 needs a lot of maintenance, 16 hours per hour of flying time, it says. As for pilot training, Layton, an active F-16 pilot who spoke to CNN, say 3 months training is for the basics, getting the plane up in the air, keeping it land safely. Combat roles become much more complex, however. Well, because this is, what are they talking about? If Ukraine didn't fly the shit with cables, then you wouldn't have to worry about the avionics. You know what I'm saying? If you can hop in and you can give them a bunch of old shit, they're going to have to learn how, you know what I'm saying? They doesn't tell you that. The F-16s are easy to learn how to fly. The environment can take years. According learning to fly F-16s part of the battle. American pilots first learn to fly, then they learn how to lead 2 F-16s, then 4 F-16s, and multi-year process. Like I said, Ukraine's current jet fighter pilots have proven adept and could learn on the job. If the F-16s is confining themselves to air defense, shooting down intruding Russian aircraft or missiles in the short term. My logic falls away if trying to teach them low altitude night all-weather ground attack using infrared systems and laser-guided bombs. This would take longer, okay? There we go. So now we're kind of hearing that they got the shitty F-16s. And they have a lot of them, okay? And I don't think it's not going to do shit for, it's not going to win Ukraine, okay? You're not going to defeat Russia with it, period, okay? That's who the fuck they're fighting, right? So F-16s do best on long, pristine runways. They could face difficulties on the rougher, former Soviet ones dispersed across Ukraine. Rand Corporation analysts wrote a blog post earlier this month to bring in Western aircraft. Ukraine might need to repave the potentially extend a number of runways and process which Russia would likely detect. Period, bro. Okay? And a few airfields were suitable and in known locations. Focused Russian attacks would impede Ukrainian F-16s from flying. There you go. It's just like, oh, ship Desert Storm went up in smoke. There's actually shit with Hummers up there, man. And they say it's propaganda. Okay. Assuming Ukraine can overcome logistics and maintenance hurdles and find secure runways from which to fly F-16s, they still need the right armaments to be effective against the key fighter jets Russia is using, dog. SC-25 and 31, bro. Analysts say the advantages of transferring advanced Western fighter jets and seeking air superiority are likely to be realized only if paired with large quantities of Western manufactured munitions. Okay, that means we're going to have to supply all our bombs. Advanced Western armaments for the F-16 would be expensive. For instance, a single advanced medium-range air-to-air missile, ARAM, costs about $1.2 million. Okay, and they're talking about rolling up the fucking money. You're not gonna be able to buy that with the card, homie. The U.S. could provide AMRAAMs and other arms from the stockpile, but with the long manufacturing times, it runs. They don't ever say they're hiring there. It runs like risk of its own inventories for being depleted if needed in a conflict directly involving U.S. forces. The political war and the future. Despite all the possible backdraws, yet 2 F-16s, Hopkins said, a political war is being fought, and victories are needed in that battle space. Getting F-16s to Ukraine will demonstrate a powerful political and diplomatic collaboration across multiple Western and especially NATO countries, he said. So anyways, that's pretty long enough, man. That's my F-16 shit. We still got to do the Raptor, and we have to do the other aircraft. There's more there than I think, too.